Hey guys, how are you? It's a wonderful day here in paradise, and it's interesting because today what I want to express in my contemplations, in my reflections really is the idea about why I'm doing this. Why am I basically putting together this vlog, this video series, and why am I actually trying to put a message across out to yourselves? Well, for me, the reason is this: it's reality. And you know, I feel I've been put into such difficult and high pressure situations, and I've been able to manage and mentally survive those difficult parameters. Certainly in terms of business, you know, I haven't gone through any personal ordeals or difficult circumstances myself, but the pressure of business is something that I have been pressed under. And through that pressing, through that pressure, you know, I've basically gained knowledge, gained experience, and from that I've basically been able to you know, understand my psyche, my mentality, and I'm also from a very spiritual background. I have a family, parents that were very focused on their relationship with a higher power, their spirituality, and it was a very loving environment. And that combination of the spiritual state or environment that I was exposed to or raised up in, plus or in collaboration with my high pressure circumstances in business, they've both forged together to kind of give me a discipline and understanding of how to kind of handle reality, and not capitulate or kowtow under pressure in reality, and see things in perspective. So I believe that there are ways and there are rules, and there are golden nuggets out there in our existence that if we pick up as pearls of wisdom, we can utilize them to develop ourselves. And the journey is really about being an evolved, a developed human being. And what I mean by that is not in the physical, but in the mental, in the spiritual, because as I've mentioned before, I believe that two states reside within us. We are a spiritual being and a human being in one. And there is a higher dimension where our thoughts are operated at. And that dimension has portaled and come into the physical form. And we're sharing that same space of physicality. And the journey of the spiritual being is to exercise such a level of willpower, such a level of thought, that it is able to detach itself from the physical form, and it is able to ascend and transcend in thought while it's still in the physical form, to get to this higher dimension, or become so you know, pure in its thoughts that it is open. It basically opens itself up. It opens its pores up. It becomes pure conductivity, becomes a pure medium through which the higher power, the higher dimension is able to disseminate, disperse enlightenment, energy, wisdom. And that energy, wisdom is then expressed through us. We are the medium, and then it is expressed through us into action, into the universe. So the journey is about becoming an evolved human being. And an evolved human being is a human being that really understands its spiritual state, its mental state, and is able to handle its emotions and deliver positive, what the spiritual world calls righteous activity out into the universe. So when there is pure action, just action, then it creates positive momentum, and worst case neutral momentum. And so our existence is about basically trying to get that wisdom, that enlightenment, experience it ourselves, utilize it, and impart it onto the world as it is, and onto the next generation, so that the next generation can basically acquire the wisdom and carry it forward for the next generation after that. So we're building up the collective consciousness of society, of humanity, through the process, from the process of those people who are able to transcend, gain enlightenment, and pass that wisdom on to the rest of humanity. So that's basically why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because I feel I've been put into situations that have given me experience and insight, and I believe that that experience and that insight is valuable. It's been valuable to me, and if it's been valuable to me, then the least I can do is share that knowledge, that wisdom, that value that I believe I've received with other people, so that I can see that they benefit from that if they utilize it as well. Because what I do definitely see is that there is suffering in society, and it's not just suffering, it's needless suffering, that we humans don't have perspective on our existence or on our reality. And because we don't, we needlessly get into negative emotions, negative situations in perception, and we basically also then from that deliver out negative output, negative action into the universe, and that doesn't raise the consciousness of humanity as a whole. It doesn't raise the consciousness of society at all. And so I'm seeing needless suffering, and I feel I can add value, I can help, and I'm trying to do that. That's what I'm trying to do. And I hope in some way, in some shape or form, some of the wisdom is valuable to yourselves, and you can take it into your your life, into your existence, and execute on it and make it practical and deliver positive output from it. Who knows? My job is really to express, to share, to impart, and then it's for you to decide if you feel that whatever I'm saying is of any value at all. So, having said all of that, what I would like to be able to say as a nutshell in terms of the philosophy is simply this: that thought is energy. What we think is who we are. So what we think is who we are. So what we need to do is make sure we take good choices in terms of the thoughts that we hold in our thought space, in our mind, because whatever that thought space, what I call a thought bucket, whatever that thought bucket is holding in terms of thought within that bucket, is what we become, is who we are at that moment in time. So what we have to do is utilize, now this is where the practicality comes in, what we have to do is utilize certain tactics, practical tactics that refine, fine-tune, press, form, forge our mindset in a particular way, so that the thoughts that come out of that mindset are aligned, are of a particularly high quality, that deliver quality output and action through us. So those practical tips are basically exercise, cold showers, affirmations, journaling, and what I believe is the highest form, which is prayers. So all of these activities are things that create resistance that we don't like doing, and by doing we're we're pushing against the resistance, and that resistance and the pushing against it is strengthening our willpower. And it's our willpower that decides basically what thoughts are going to be held in the thought bucket that make us who we are. Thought is energy, and what we think is who we are. So the thoughts that we hold in that thought bucket will define us. So basically what I'm saying is that our willpower determines the thoughts that we don't want in our thought bucket, and it allows us to focus on the best thoughts that we want in our thought bucket, and that becomes us if we are consistent in those thoughts over time. And so we have to develop rituals and practices, routines, rituals and practices as daily habits that develop our mindset, that allow us to have an evolved thought process, or have evolved thoughts that then are able to basically push out positive action into the universe. And like I said, the end goal is two things. One is raising the collective consciousness of society through our actions, and the other thing is raising our own consciousness and giving us meaning and purpose of our existence in life, really giving us true value of knowing that, of living, basically, of having a great life that we're living right now. And so that's it. There you have it. And I will talk to you later. But please do, if you feel you are valuing this, I've made any points, is there anything that you want to let me know about, please do leave some comments below on what you thought of this particular vlog, and I will talk to you guys later. Thank you. Bye bye. Hey guys, how are you? It's day 26 of the 30-day challenge. Can't believe how poor a performance after the probably day 15 I've been doing, and I'm actually shocked at myself. It's interesting because there seems to be an emotional block that is something that I'm not focused on or developing, in terms of developing to eradicate. So I think it's about concentration and focus, and I'm diluting my concentration, dispersing my focus, and I'm not resolving the issue at hand. But I think I'm going to get closer in the next couple of days. All right, guys. I will talk to you soon. Bye now.